Sina Drums, whose life was set in motion long before she ever picked up a pair of drumsticks. Born in 1999 in the quiet town of Marburg, Germany, Sina grew up surrounded by music. Her father, a seasoned musician and producer, built a studio into their home, and her mother, a piano teacher with a golden voice, made sure that music wasn't just a hobby, it was the heartbeat of their household. From the outside, it looked idyllic, a musical fairy tale. But inside that serene home was a girl trying to carve out an identity in the shadows of seasoned performers. While most kids her age played with toys, Sina was learning rhythm patterns. But instead of seeing it as a gift, some began to whisper that she had it too easy, that she was just another privileged child with access, not talent. Yet no one saw the hours she spent in that dimly lit studio, the blisters, the tears, the feeling of always being one step behind her own expectations. Her father may have opened the door, but Sina walked through it with bruises no one ever noticed. And just when most teens were awkwardly navigating school dances, she decided to take the scariest step of all, putting her drumming online for the world to see. But that brave decision, it wasn't met with applause, not at first. When Sina uploaded her very first drum cover on YouTube, Metropolis PT, won by Dream Theater, it wasn't a viral explosion or overnight fame, it was silence. And worse than that, it was self-doubt. Imagine being a teenager putting your soul into a video, hitting upload, and then watching it vanish into the void. No applause, no trolls, just nothing. At that moment, Sina faced a painful truth most creators experience. Talent alone means nothing in the algorithm's world. She could play circles around most adult drummers, but YouTube didn't care unless you hacked its formula, so she tried again and again. Cover after cover, experimenting with thumbnail styles, audio mixing, video angles. Her father, who helped behind the scenes, became her editing partner and musical director. Together, they treated each video like a production, and slowly something changed. Not in the numbers, but in the comments. Who is this girl? Underrated legend. Better than the original drummer. Validation came not from views, but from community. Yet for every encouraging fan, there were critics accusing her of using her looks or her dad's connections to gain traction. It was a slap in the face to a girl who drummed until her arms shook. But that pain, that rejection, it lit a fire. And then came the cover that changed everything. It was her rendition of Dire Straits, Sultans of Swing, that took Sina from overlooked to unstoppable. But this wasn't just another cover. Sina made a controversial choice. Instead of mimicking the original's relaxed groove, she injected energy using the drums from a live concert version. A risky move for a classic, but it worked. The video exploded with millions of views, fans praising her interpretation, critics silenced by her skill, and new audiences flocking to her channel. Suddenly, Sina was the drummer kid from Germany. She was a name people typed into YouTube searches, but the success came with strings. The higher you climb, the louder the whispers. Is her dad editing the audio? Is she miming? This can't be real. The same internet that crowned her queen also questioned her throne. The irony. Most didn't know she couldn't monetize the viral hit. Copyright policies meant all the revenue went to the song's original publishers. Sina had gone viral, but her wallet didn't notice. Her fame was growing, but financially she was stuck. Still, that didn't stop legendary musicians from taking notice, because what happened next? It would put Sina in rooms she never dared to dream of. Legends take notice when rock royalty came calling. Imagine waking up one day to find out Ian Pace of Deep Purple watched your cover and loved it. That's not fantasy, that's Sina's reality. Her thunderous cover of Burn caught the legendary drummer's attention, and soon after they were collaborating on a joint performance. It was a surreal moment. Sina, once a shy teenager recording in her basement, now working with the very legends whose songs she used to learn by heart. But it didn't stop there. In 2021, Jim Peterick, the Grammy-winning mind behind Eye of the Tiger, invited Sina to play drums on one of his new tracks, Dear Life. For a young drummer with zero label backing and limited mainstream coverage, these invitations were more than milestones, they were validations. Her skills weren't just YouTube-worthy, they were world-class. Sina began appearing in events like Rock the Opera, performing alongside seasoned rock musicians. She was living the dream, or so it seemed. Because beneath those bright stage lights, a different kind of pressure was building. The expectation to perform, the fear of fatting, the constant criticism about being a YouTube musician, not a real drummer. And worse, the platform that gave her fame was also stealing her future. While millions watched her videos in awe, few realized Sina was fighting battles invisible to the eye. YouTube's copyright system, often unforgiving, made it almost impossible for her to earn from her most popular work. Covering famous songs meant ad revenue went to the original artists, and when one early cover, Supertramp, hit with a copyright strike, it nearly ended her channel. The fans saw polished videos. Sina saw warning emails and demonetized uploads. She turned to Patreon and started producing original work to stay afloat, but the struggle was real. Then came the rumors. Reddit threads speculating her growth wasn't organic. Accusations of using bots, leveraging her looks, even claims her father manipulated the mixes. It was a cruel twist for someone who built everything from scratch with family support. Sina never lashed out. She kept posting, kept creating. But the anxiety lingered. What if the next strike deleted everything? What if the algorithm shifted? What if people just stopped watching? The psychological toll was heavy, but Sina wore a smile. And when asked about quitting covers, she didn't say no. She just said, maybe someday. Because behind the drum kit was a girl craving freedom to play her own music, tell her own story, and escape the digital leash. Reinvention and relocation. The next chapter begins in London. By 2024, Sina had made a bold decision. She was moving to London. No longer the teenage cover artist locked in her basement studio, she was now a graduate of RTZ, one of Europe's most respected arts universities, ready to take her sound to new heights. London offered her space, both creatively and literally. It was the start of something fresh. She launched Kai Might, a project featuring original compositions where she wasn't just the drummer, but the creative director. No more hiding behind someone else's songs. This time, it was her voice, her rhythm, her vision, and fans noticed. Some embraced the change. Others longed for the classic covers. But Sina pressed forward, balancing nostalgia with innovation. She still drops the occasional tribute to classic rock, but the heart of her channel is changing. Now, she talks openly about music theory, production, and her views on the music industry's future. It's no longer about chasing views. It's about shaping legacy. But as she reinvents her sound in London's creative underground, one question haunts longtime fans. Is this a new beginning, or a farewell tour in disguise? As Sina settles into her new chapter in London, one thing is clear: her journey is far from over. But it's not just her music that leaves people wondering. It's the mystery that lingers behind her calm expression, the pain behind the smiles, and the uncertainty that shadows every upload. Fans who once tuned in for energetic covers now find themselves witnessing something deeper, a transition, a quiet rebellion against the algorithm that once defined her.